All right, greetings. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so tonight is, we just had our mentorship webinar, and when I'm going to upload it, I'm trying to figure out because I have part 2 of the 2021 timeline. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to upload stuff. Either way, well, the mentorship will be uploaded eventually, but probably it might be next week. Actually, I was going to do it this Wednesday, but I don't want to overcrowd it. I don't want to have too many things uploading, on the channel. So we'll see. Probably next week. So today is Spirit World point of view of Atlantis, Anunnaki, and timelines. Timelines soon to come. So we'll see where that part. The future timelines, we'll see where that goes. But I figure it'll be a different. We'll see where this all goes. Connected to Orion's, just a spirit world point of view of all these things. Orion and whatever else comes to mind. Some people might think the spirit world is unsympathetic, and you could be right about that. They're still warning. I also felt that as I was connecting to them, I think this is good overall. You get their point of view. If you like their point of view or not, it's another story. Understood. But because of the way the world is and how things are allowed, but spirit guides have been pulled away from people, yanked away due to failures because a lot of mistakes are made in spirit. Of course, they're a little bit slow on that subject matter, so obviously we're not always seeing it, but we definitely are feeling it. We are experiencing it. So we'll see where that goes. I wasn't really expecting that portion to come through, so we'll just see where no holds bar from their realm. So what inspired us kind of do the spirit world in their direction? It sort of came to mind yesterday, so there's no real reason to just sort of can't go either way. We'll just move on from that. So okay, do a little bit of an update. Have nothing new to a little bit. So I haven't told that comment private sessions. Scheduler, you have I'm still on the 13th or the 12th, I forget. And I'll be catching up tomorrow. This my energy is shot today. And same situation here. As a webinar, social network we don't get kicked off of, Rabbit and behind the scenes. Thank you for your support. Okay. All right. So this is a different type of connection, same as yesterday, but a little bit more broad. Just channeled them for 2 hours earlier, and now we're going again. So this will be a little bit more. We'll just let's see where this goes. All right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. We are Spirit Collective. Yes, connected to spirit guides and all spirit beings to give you a aspect of our point of view. Now, your spiritual self is what you choose. Some of you can be 50 feet tall, 1,000 feet tall, 1,000,000 feet tall if you want, or not even human at all. Some of you show up as a plant in spirit. You appear as you wish. You're still consciousness, and that's what matters most. Connecting to consciousness. Think like you're on the phone with 1,000 beings at once or more. and everybody's in conversation, everybody's in each other's vibration, realities. So it's like a movie, a television that's constantly going within each other's realities. So yes, it's an ongoing process. There's different points of view, of course, but obviously we're not here to go into that altogether. So yes, we're going to jump around a little bit. Your Atlantis vibration was necessary for Earth and its growth. Yes, there's a deep history that is hidden, that has not been seen. There is many wars of your Earth before Atlantis was ever brought to your world. It was basically to put your planet together, to form the human, to bring accomplishments of the human into your Earth's atmosphere. Now, the human was already here before they appeared, but it's basically to continue the journey. A lot of the Syrians were assisting the human here before Atlanteans even appeared. You can say technically Atlanteans are Syrian, but you can go as you feel. But this Earth has always been a territory of expansion, of consciousness. Yes, some are having difficulties with it, but you also invited reptilian beings here, as you know. Orion beings, you invited Martian beings to see the positive side of it or also the dark side. Obviously, the dark side, how far you can go. It goes much, basically a lot of failures were done here. One of the reasons why you're here. You can say the bullies of the universe are on your planet at this time. Obviously, they're not letting up, but many of you are persisting in their healing through their abuse and allowing higher dimension energies to continue to come through. Some of you have actually taught a lot of these reptilian beings and even advanced wizard Atlanteans how to be who they are today. So experiencing it through their terror. It's like as you go into your lifespans, you'd be surprised how some of you taught them how to be this way. Now, it doesn't mean you have to bring this darkness here, but they discovered talents they did not know about. Well, always that they slowly developed, and actually, it is advancing the universe more quickly. So, to be a being that can cause suppression on this earth is quite an achievement. Realize many are going to have difficulty with that, but to be a being that can take down a crystallized energy such as the Atlanteans, to bring it into darkness is quite a defeat. And many of you incarnated here to bring darkness here, to advance the soul faster. You can't always do that to all worlds, but this one you can. It's not just faster, it speeds things up on multiple levels. It's yes to show the uglies of the universe, but also to bring out the beauty of it. As many have seen their darker sides, as many of you have seen their lighter sides. Obviously, it's not going to be the most clearest cut. Atlantean knowledge is, they didn't have all the answers, as no one does, but they were a necessary contribution to your existence. One that you're still decoding now. As you know, during your Nazi race or Nazi invasion, the Atlantean knowledge came back. So they can't just stay quiet forever, as they have not in their past, but in recent history, they make themselves more. Just the word Atlantean shows that they are willing to bring themselves out of the hidden energies back into your reality. So this is a time of the unknown, of wizardry, but it goes much deeper than that. Identifying yourself, remembering yourself. As some of you, yes, are here in suffering mode, not understanding why this is happening, but then you realize oh, maybe I was contributor to some of this in your past. And some of you might be able to tap into those things. As some of you were here to shut down the human, and now you're here to reawaken it. And discovering that within yourself can be very, I won't call it damaging. Not always a channeled being is always going to mention that. That is for you to discover yourself. You can get confirmation from a channeled being, but normally they're not going to just bring it about. Yes, you're part of the downfall of humanity. They're not ones to truly go into that. I don't believe so. I guess it depends on the being. Lucifer might be one to say something like that, but not likely. Now, is this a downfall of humanity? Not really. It's, yes, it brought a lot of darkness here, but once again, it's doing what other worlds cannot do. It's just like anything that you invent, you have a world where you're here to explore its lighter side and its darker side. Obviously, the dark side of this planet goes very deep, deeper than most planets, but also still sustain itself and still exists, is saying a lot. Your Anunnaki was a anchor to heal the Atlantean energies. Yes, they did cause their own difficulties. Anunnaki brought a lot of peace here also. A lot of tribes were developed through the Anunnaki and were not tampered with and left alone. As the human, because Anunnaki worked with the Atlanteans to perfect the human, as you are today. And yes, later to shut it down. But it wasn't always necessary to shut it down. But there's different points of view on that. But it wasn't really the intent to do so. But it was also basically to take, yes, the blueprint and to make it, part of your regular human race and to scatter it about as you are today. There's different types of humans. Yes, elongated humans, the elongated head humans. Most of them are Atlantis, but not all of them. Yes, they can connect to technologies, other realities very easily, quickly, levitate, connecting to the 12th dimension. But the combined energies of Atlantean, Syrian, Palladian was to go into a deepness of the soul that has not been discovered. A darkness, once again, to create warlords, to create just anarchy. As you are in a time right now of chaos, but many of you are wearing more of the peaceful side of yourselves. In the past, many of you got pulled into the propaganda and went through darkness, so it continued darkness. But that was the path. We've learned from those things because your earth could have awakened to more of spiritual vibrations 200-300 years ago. Even having technologies you have today. But a lot of that was bypassed. They give you time to figure yourselves out what you wanted because it wasn't entirely clear of what the human wanted. As you're going to more of an awakening now, because nothing's ever truly set in stone. Things can change. Yes, your alien beings can be activated here, but once again, your human collective says no. Many are saying yes, but majority is saying no. But you're healing that uncertainty. You're proving to your society that alien vibrations can be brought here and understood. Yes, there's going to be a little bit positive and negative here, of course, as there anything that you're getting used to. You're dipping your toe back into the vibrations of the new Earth, basically, or the old Earth, which you call the new Earth. But it's actually the old Earth. You're going into the future, but it's like you're going back into the past. But now you're just a different type of being. Yes, more educated to what this world is capable of. Many are still exploring the lower realms, even as we speak, of course. A lot of your presidents are in the lower realms, at least the United States and other countries. Africa eventually would turn into a more activated healing center. But of course, the Earth's energy has to go into a higher vibration first. It has to remove, yes, the war energies, the wars had to be removed from the planet too, had to be healed. Well, the word war, the word peace needs to find first. And that's where you're going into a more peaceful society. Many will find that difficult to believe. We understand that. You're not fully in peaceful energies, as many of your neighborhoods still have a lot of healing to do. A lot of your cities are archon vibrations, of course, designed to turn your earth backwards, designed to keep things from evolving. But it does not mean it's there to, you can still counter that as you're doing now. That's why many of you are awakened in these cities for a reason. It's like, obviously, it would be easier just to get rid of the cities altogether, but that's easier said than done. So instead of doing that, many of you just incarnate into these cities to heal them. As for your future timelines, your Atlantean timeline, once again, is of your past. You're going back into your past. That's what all this is about, really. It's like we've been in the past this whole time. It's kind of like that. It's like you're in modern era, but as you start awakening, unlocking your Akashic record energies, you find like you never really left the past. It's always been here. Or the past is a modern era, however you want to look at it. So that's what you're discovering now currently. It can get confusing, but remember, if you're in the past again, if you're part of an Atlantean Lemurian time frame, all those things during those times are resurrected or seen again. Instead of going into the future and waiting for it to appear, you're basically allowing those realms to be opened up currently to get your answers that you're looking for. So yes, time has been rearranged greatly here to make you think you're going into the future, when in truth, you never really left the past. Really, not really. It seems that way. You had a journey, but you're actually in your modern era, which is your Atlantean, Lemurian, and there's many other cultures, of course. So as you connect to these vibrations, you'll see more of your modern era that has been forgotten return. And that's when your wizards are being seen. That's when your aliens start to show themselves. As you know that you're making, you can say technically like a full circle. As if you feel like you lost an era, but actually you enhanced it. So this is all within your own vibration. So unlock your Akashic record of, we'll just call it your past, but really it's your modern era. A modern era that's been hidden. Now, spirit beings, how they connect to your world. Yes, obviously many advanced beings chose the Atlantean incarnations to advance the soul, the physical or non-physical, they're both combined, to its highest level, given technologies and tools, and then to take it to a world similar to yours. They take it to other worlds also. This isn't the only place they've been to. And to seed it with their knowledge. The knowledge they receive from other places, mostly from Sirius. As Sirius is a place of grounding. Sirius is just a place of, I mean, you have the Pleiades, yes, it's very active spiritually, but Sirius is where the soul, yes, is challenged, allowing more its creative self to come through. As Egypt was a creation of just imagination. Where can you take gold and create a society, a golden society, basically? As you know, most of us encased in gold. Atlantean, or even Atlantean beings, Egyptian beings are golden beings. Or the golden ones, however you want to word it. Your Babylonians are similar, but your Egyptians are golden people. So that's why when you look at Egypt and you see gold, it's like, but there actually are golden beings. They were like that in the past also. So allowing those, yes, many memories of Egypt are not going to be completely clear. As there is, yes, alien beings are everywhere part of society, and they'll eventually reconnect. They have their reasons why they disappeared, because most of them didn't. That's why the hieroglyphs are allowed to remain. There was a time of just erase it all and let you figure it out eventually. Let you channel the energies again and let your, the ancestors remember the hieroglyphs, but instead it was allowed to remain. As there's many temples, yes, energies got a lot of alien beings have been erased from history. Giants have been erased from history. Dinosaurs have been erased from history for the most part, as their journeys have been not necessarily for what you're going through today. You have an accomplishment here. Your accomplishment now is to remember. You're in the era of who am I, but going more galactic this time. Reconnecting to your galactic friends as you're doing now, but allowing more of that energy to come through is taking it. You are taking it more seriously, but allowing it more to truly show itself. So you see the next few years that era start to reconnect to you again. But it's happening now. It happens when the individual, as many of you feel, yes, this might be scary, uncertain times. But some of you feel like there's a slight awakening within yourself that you might not fully understand. It is, yes, a connection with the Akashic record to allow more of your earth to be rediscovered again. Now, there are many different earths here, not just one. As many of you want to say, there is a main timeline, but many of you come from several different places. Is to grab onto those several different places. What Earth do you see? Because some of you came here in a time where there's just giants here in the past. Some of you come in here when actually ancient Atlanteans were here in the deep history and failed many, many times. So having them fail again was no surprise to you. But this is a different type of failure. Well, when they failed in the past, they just reinvented themselves pretty quickly. There was a dark past, but it's not that important at this point. But this is not your only rodeo, or your last one, or however word you call it here. But spirit beings, how they choose Earth, or as many of them, yes, are childlike or kid-like. They don't know what it feels like to experience this type of tension. So coming in here, it's exciting, but once terrifying once they get here. Well, is this like they remember, but also forgot why they chose to be here? To have their spiritual self deactivated. So obviously they experience in spirit. Many souls in spirit are very naive. And yes, spirit guides do get fired because they get so disconnected from you. That's why many spirit guides are currently incarnated on your earth also. Meaning you're here. Doesn't mean you know them. Normally you don't know them. But a lot of them have an incarnation here simultaneously. They're a spirit guide, but also they're here. The majority of you have that. Obviously, it's not going to always make itself clear for obvious reasons because you're going through a lesson. Some of us say I fired all my guides, but that might be another reason why I don't have any friends around either. It's because you kind of clear out those vibrations. It all depends on the individual. It doesn't mean they're still not there in some form or another. It just gives you a different aspect of what you're connecting to. The spirit world is connecting more to your earth than it ever has before. You might start seeing that energy, possibly, due through colors. You might not believe what you're seeing, but we are allowed to connect more to your earth than in the past. Does it help you see more of yourselves? You can say technically you're going through more of a biblical time frame. Your Orions that came here, yes, very deep in your Earth's past, yes, came here, failed, tried to build a civilization, failed, brought a lot of reptilian beings here, failed with that, created a society. A lot of them got bitter against Orion beings, for that matter, bitter against everyone because how they were mistreated. Well, because reptilians, I don't believe this is mentioned very often, Reptilians are known to be, they experiment on themselves, but other alien beings experiment on them too. So just like what's happening to you happens to them. So if you're an alien, or you can say if you're a Zeta, for example, finding a reptilian is valuable because then you start messing with its DNA. So if they abduct a reptilian, it's amazing what you can do with reptilian DNA. As you can see with your world, you're going through a lot of difficulties, but they went through. There's also reptilian worlds that are very similar to yours. Not exactly, but they're going through a lot. Yes, where reptilians are manipulating their own society. Similar to yours. Added a version of religion. It's more like a cult, but it's kind of a religion. Where a lot of the reptilians wear robes, cloaks and robes and things like that. Yes, it's quite exhilarating to see. Now, reptilians showing themselves here, it's unlikely to happen anytime soon, but as you begin to understand them more, because there's different aspects of them, we believe they'll start to make their more appearance in due time. A lot of them are terrified of humans. A lot of them are ill, dying in some aspects. A lot of them are terrified. It's not just giving them a reason to exist, it's like, can humans and aliens get along with each other? It's another reason why they don't show themselves. It's like, humans were not exactly the kindest to reptilians. Of course, they weren't kind to you either. So it's been a back and forth. So it's like a neighbor that has been ignored by society, but it's still here. Due to a lot of statues, you see those remnants of them everywhere. Well, they can't hide themselves completely. It's just humans and reptilians just don't get along. Well, we feel like that's going to change. It doesn't mean you're going to get along with each other, but they're going to have to eventually, reacquaint themselves with society. Because they can't stay hidden forever. That was never the deal. There is a time when they're supposed to reveal themselves, and they will eventually. They're just a little bit scared of it for various reasons. They know how humans are, so they'd rather be the bullies hidden, keeping you shut down, but they know the day is going to come when they're going to have to be seen here in the physical. Now, the timeline obviously is not clear, but once again, we're putting this out there for you to tap into it. We're putting all this out there for you to see your version of it. There's multiple versions of everything, especially your Earth's past. Also, Martian invasion was on your Earth for any Atlantean energies were here. Many Maldek was here also in your ancient past. For you to, the monkey people or the ape people came here in your ancient world. What was technically like a monkey Earth, a gorilla planet in the beginning. So, in some respects, that wasn't exactly the main energy here, but it's once again, it's what you see, because there's some, as I say, there's so many different timelines. Some are very some of those are in spiritual groups or gurus are very conservative. They're going to see because they want to intellectual everything. They're spiritual to a certain extent, but some are they can only go so far. Some of you go past all of those walls and just see everything. But not everybody wants to see everything. Well, some of you can tap in just generations and generations that have not been recorded, seen, and it's done for various reasons. But I feel those doors are going to start to open where you can see everything more clearly. So the reason why we are here is spirit world is incomplete. As we are created through our consciousness, basically, if you want to create, as you call, a child in spirit, because you think about it, and then there it is created. Just like that. A spirit being from your vibration is created, and now you have a child. Of course, it's not the same thing as a baby, but technically you can go to that same direction if you want to. You can look like an alien baby, you can look like a reptilian baby, you can look like anything you want, if you want to go to that direction. Yeah, you have to be careful what you think, because things in spirit can happen instantly. So on your world, even for spirit, it's hard for us to be patient. We're wanting patience in spirit, as you are going through patience. We mind our words. Words are very powerful. Now, some of you say words that need to be said, especially about the spirit world. How even the same time as how spirit world is unconfident, as we are, we have a lot of missing links to your world. I mean, we're not always seeing what's happening here. We see it, but we don't always understand it because you're so disconnected from us. You're connected, but we don't always have the best words for you because some spirit beings can be very cold when you get an answer from them. Well, because they're so disconnected from how it is to be human. And some spirit guides can be very close to you and feel exactly where you're going, but not all spirit beings are like that. Some are a little bit more distant. And they give you like a very kind of like almost like a sociopathic answer sometimes. Because they're so disconnected. It's like, oh, you're suffering? That's okay. You can wait 10 years and be fine. Oh, money? You'll be fine. Oh, you're starving? You'll find somebody. Don't worry about it. They're not feeling the pain that you're going through. That's what the spirit world is attempting to fix. They're still having difficulty. When you're an energy being, it's not when you feel the vibration of your earth, some spirit beings come very dark very fast because they can't handle it. So yes, you being here is an experience that's unlike anything else. It's like cocaine here, of experiences. You might not see. Yeah, the world is slow and not always interesting, but if you see it from our point of view, there's so many things happening here that you're not seeing that it can become overwhelming. Not for us, but for you, it can be. That's why everything is so slow. Because if things sped up, it'd be hard for you to learn your lessons here. So it's just, we don't exactly have the right words for it, but slow, slow is key here. Maybe too slow, but slow, because many want to, learn their lessons and not have to come back here. And there are some that are in a reincarnation cycle, but not everyone. A portion, but not everyone. So, besides your future timelines, well, you're going to see it soon. Some of you will slowly start to realize where the world's going. Some of you are seeing it, but not everybody's here to see everything. Your politics have caused a lot of timeline dismantlement, but everything's going to plan. Even if in your perspective, it might not be, but it is. It's just a warped plan, but for human consciousness, this is the best way. As difficult as it is for some to digest, it's, let's put it this way. On a political front, some people were politically spoiled. So where they're not learning anything. Now you hit a speed bump. Many are now looking at things differently, looking at themselves differently. Some of you speeding things up spiritually. So it's one of the reasons why things are the way they are. So blessings. Blessings.